Hi, I'm the Space Quest historian, and today we're starting a new series. Yes, it's another Space Quest game. This one was released at the tail end of 2011. You see, around 2011, 2012, round about the same time actually, 3 full-length Space Quest fan games were released. Space Quest Incinerations and Space Quest Valhalla Strikes Back, I've already played those two, and this one, the remake of Space Quest II Valhalla's Revenge by Infamous Quests. And it's a remake that's basically made in the same vein as Space Quest 4. That is, the graphics are on par with Space Quest 4. It has the same icon interface. It basically looks like Sierra went in and remade Space Quest 2 much the same way that they did with Space Quest 1 around 1991, 1992-ish. But they also gave it a full voice makeover. Now, the version that I'm going to play of this has not been officially released at the time of this recording because I am so damn special. What actually happened is around, the late 2011, Infamous Quests released this game and then went on to do commercial games like Quest for Infamy and Order of the Thorn. But recently, Steve Alexander, who's one of the co-CEOs of Infamous Quests, had a little peek around the old game files and decided to spruce it up a bit, fix some old bugs, add some, touch-ups here and there. Most importantly, at least according to him, replace the standard AGS font with something that looks a little more Sierra-ish. And that's the version I'm going to play. Now, if you've seen my playthrough of Space Quest 1 VGA, right at the end I said that I was actually working on making a totally special version of this game with Steve. I was going to record the voiceover for the narrator. Now, the narrator in the original version and this version is played by Isaac Lundgren, who was also one of the musicians, and he also voices Roger. And funny story, the way that Steve and I met each other was because I posted sort of a semi-review of this game, SQ2 VGA, when it came out, and I said, lovely, lovely remake, love it to bits, don't like the narrator voice. And Steve replied, and this was the first I'd ever heard from him, Steve replied, well, if you think you can do better, do it, and I'll compile a version for you with your voice in the game. So I tried to do that once and got through the entire script, and then as I was editing the voice files, the laptop I was working on sort of broke down and died on me, so that was a wasted effort. And when I started doing the Space Quest playthrough on this channel, I think it was around the time I started Space Quest 5 actually, I started the process up again and tried to, record all the narrator lines. Turns out there's a lot of them. So we're not going to be hearing my voice as the narrator. Or are we? Because I got in contact with Steve and he sent me this beta of the new version that he is planning on releasing at some point, and I sort of asked him if he could build me a version that doesn't have the narrator voice in it so that I could sit here and do the next best thing, which to me is read it out loud myself as I'm playing it. So you will hear the voices, all the voice talent of the rest of the cast, but I'll be reading the narrator voices out loud myself. Maybe someday I'll finish this project of actually recording all the voice files, but again, there is a lot of them. Hang on, I'll show you. I mean, check this out. This is the script that I've got open, and as I'm scrolling through, these are just the narrator lines, and this column over here, F, means that I've actually recorded that line, and I'm scrolling, and I'm scrolling. You know what, I'm just gonna grab the scroll bar over here and just go all the way down here. The dash means that I have recorded it but not yet edited it, so on we go, on we go, on we go, on we go. There's a lot of fucking narrator lines, come on. So essentially, yeah, didn't quite get it done in time. So what we're doing, as I said, next best thing, I'm just gonna read them out loud as I play. Oh, and before we get started, I just want to make it absolutely clear, there is nothing wrong with Isaac Lundgren. He's a terrific guy. I've been in contact with him. I've even apologized for talking shit about his narrator voice. And, it is, as you just saw, it is a massive undertaking to record all of those lines. And he did some wonderful music and some wonderful sound design on the game. So I have nothing against Isaac at all. So please don't get the wrong idea on that one. I don't know, just didn't quite like his narrative. What he did was he recorded his voice and then he sort of pitched it down and it sounded a bit weird and it didn't sound very Space Questy. Now, I'm the first to admit, I probably don't sound very Space Questy either. And when you think Space Questy, you think Gary Owens and, those are big shoes to fill. So I'm not going to try and do some sort of weird Gary Owens impression, don't get me wrong. I'm just going to read them out loud as I have done with previous Space Quest games. Enough rambling! What do you say we get started playing the game? If you enjoy this game, please purchase the original series. You'll love them. I do. How'd you know? And here we go. Space Quest 2 VGA. Would you like to skip the intro or watch the whole... Damn, I will watch it and rejoice. Ooh. Previously on Space Quest... Our hero, Roger Wilco, had escaped from the clutches of the deadly Sarians, battled strange alien creatures. Nice. Made new friends and bravely traversed the dangerous desert planet of Corona. Stopping to relax only for a moment, Roger soldiered on and bravely made his bold escape from the desert heat of Corona. Searching through space, he found the Sarians and infiltrated their mothership, the Deltor. Using his stealth and skills, Roger subdued the Sarians and destroyed their feared star generator. Well, the feared, not their. Finally, Roger returned home to Xenon, a hero. For a bit, anyway. And here we go. Infamous Adventures, their original name before they changed their name to Infamous Quests. Space Quest. Not 4. But... Chapter 2. There you go. That was a quick recap, but it basically said what you needed to know. Valhall's Revenge, here we go. And as the credits roll, oh my god. Just seeing that intro for the first time back in the late 2011. I said it again, the late 2011. Late 2011. It was just, oh my god, I was so looking forward to this, and it really does not disappoint. First of all, it does sound exactly like... And looks like exactly like, a game that came out in 1991 and, made by Sierra Online. And this is pretty much the baby of Sean Mills, the other co-CEO of Infamous Quest, who is also a very big fan of Space Quest 2, which is not a terrible game. Thank you, Francisco. The David Letter Droid show. Now, the intro here, it's amazing. Basically recaps the manual
hero of heroes
that was in Space Quest 2, the original box.
Swashbuckler, the man you know and love, Roger Wilco.
And that's Josh Mandel as Dave Letter Droid. Just basically sunk into his chair.
Hero of Xenon, how goes it?
Well, I just flew in from Vega 9, and boy, are my arms tired.
Oh, Roger. So, tell us, how did you manage to defeat all of those nasty Sarians?
Well, a ray gun and a lot of dumb luck.
Sarians were a piece of cake. I had no problem cleaning their clocks. Which
is amazing, because they didn't need clock cleaning at all.
Didn't know who they were messing with.
Whoa, that's some pretty tough talk there, eh? What do you think, Paul?
Yep. Pretty tough talk.
Yeah, Paul gets a laugh and we don't.
Retribution, Roger?
Revenge? Nah. I hear their leader is a real hoser. Some guy named Overhaul or U-Haul. Something stupid like that. In fact, he's probably cowering in some deep dark cave somewhere. Anyway, let me tell you about the time I wrestled this spider droid.
How dare this puny, insignificant life form insult my superior intellect? I'll teach him to make monkeys out of my men.
Pretty sure that's Steve Alexander as Sludge Volhole.
I'll not stand to be made a fool in front of the whole universe. I'll squash him like a Velcron fly.
They got pretty close with the voice distortion as well.
Watching other droids first, boss. Don't question me, Banana Breath. I say move.
Ah, in the original comic, he gives him a slap. Get on it! Get on it! Which is one of his favorite phrases, I guess. Anyway, all of that dialogue, all of that was taken straight from the Space Quest 2 original manual. There's a little comic book that comes with it. And what in the hell is that supposed to even be? I have no idea. It kind of reminds me of Gur, but this...
As you will recall in our last chapter, you had just foiled the Sarians' fiendish plot to rule the galaxy by using the Star Generator as their weapon of destruction. You became a hero by saving countless lives and returning the Star Generator technology into safe hands. Life was beautiful.
That's actually the original narrator voice, but I'm holding my breath that once I start clicking around,
Heroes come and go, and people soon forget.
it'll be my time to shine.
Rated herodom slowly fades, leaving you, once again, a janitor. The promotion to head janitor was no consolation, especially since you are the only member of the janitorial staff, nor was the transfer to Orbital Station 4. Sweating like a pork beast in a pressure suit while relocating space debris in zero gravity just wasn't your idea of a good time. Life sucks. Again.
See, it's kind of a monotone, weirdly robotic voice. Not that I'm gonna do much better, I feel, but I'll give it a shot at least. There's no sound in space. Ah, here we go. Orbital Station 4 is one of many orbiting's... Fucked up the first line. Way to go. Orbital Station 4 is one of many orbiting Xenon, your home planet. It is a transfer point for travelers seeking transportation to the various planets in the Irinon system. As we begin this chapter of our story, we find you, Roger Wilco, ace janitor, doing what you do best. Sucking at your job. Again, where's that sound come from? I don't care. A beep emanates from your wristwatch. You release your grip on the broom. Don't even try and catch it or anything. The broom floats away, never to be used again. That makes the third one this week. Wait till your boss finds out. And look at the fucking cursor changes. It's because you can walk up the walls, right? See, that was a bit of a surprise in the first game, but here, yeah. There we go. And even shades and they did diagonal walk cycles and yeah, we should probably find out what the hell was going on in our inventory. Hello. And yes, as you can see, the icon bar is exactly as it was. Well, more or less exactly. The since it's a widescreen widescreen resolution, the walk icon is slightly bigger than everything else. But you've got walk, look, touch, fondle, fuck with, whatever, talk to, smell and taste. So let's give this thing an old sniffy. Can't smell the iWatch. How about my arm? You can't smell your arm, as your head and the nose attached to it are inside your EVA suit helmet. How about licking? No, that's just sick, Roger. Alrighty. Oh, it's a corporate logo of Pear Technologies, makers of such products as the iScreech, the iMav, and of course the iWatch. And the dialogue box is auto-clear. I didn't know that, so apparently I'm gonna have to pick up the pace on a couple of those. Alright, let's just start pressing shit. Maybe I should look at them first. This button will activate your online daily horoscope. I want to have a look at that. This button will tell you two important things, the temperature and the time. You've never understood the reason for the temperature. It's darn cold, that's all you need to know. Knowing the time is important in this job, yo. Though, you need to know when your next break is. And pressing this button opens your iWatch communicator. Let's start with that. Hello?
Wilco, get in here, on the double. You've got a mess to clean up in the shuttle which just returned. One of the passengers got space sick on the way down. Besides, you should have been done out there an hour ago. Get a move on.
can't tell if that was James Mulvale. I think it might have been. With that, the image disappears. Mulvale did some of the music for this game. A bit of it. He's credited as additional music. But he did all the music for Quest for Infamy and Order of the Thorn, I believe. Oh well, let's check out our horoscope. That was the wrong button, but okay. The time is 11:26 and the temperature is fucked. Horoscope, keep up the good work. Today could bring that promotion you think you deserve. Don't take any wooden buckazoids. Excellent. Alright, exiting. Now, they've added some details to the outside here, of course they have. For instance, these lights. No, it's a normal wall, part of the structure that connects the roof to the floor. These are lights. The flashing lights are there to remind the foolish that to step any further would result in that person's death. And I see that there are, in fact, 4 lights.
4 lights!
These lights are as weak as the beer in this place, and they're about as reliable as the management. You know what? Of course, we would be absolutely remiss if we did... What the hell was that? I think, yeah, hitting shift brings up the debug window. Which is neat, I guess. Again, I'm playing a beta. Starting out, let's just savey, and walk off the edge of the screen. Like you do. Like an idiot, really. Whee! And it just keeps on going. Well, due to an obvious lack of common sense, you have stepped off the edge, lost your magnetic grip of the ship, and drifted to your death. Now you're free! Free fallen. If it's any consolation, you found your broom as you both floated off into the vast nothingness of space. Excellent. Animated death images and all that. Ah, yum yum. Well, let's give everything a lick, shall we? The only thing you would taste is the inside of your EVA visor. It's not a whole lot to lick out in space, at least I wouldn't imagine. Alright, let's get inside. Even as the points sound from Space Quest 4. You are whisked away to the airlock chamber. Ooh. What does that say? Simon Security? Stand by for decontamination. Yeah, that's why. Who thought up this dumb joke? Steve did. Pretty sure he did, anyway. Anyway, we should probably hang our duds. And now we can start what I know we all came here for. The vigorous licking of spaceship interior. First we'll start with this big old... what the hell? It looks like a bowl of frozen jello. No way! How about the... No, you decide not to taste the EVA suit. You just don't know where it's been. What about the floor I just stepped out of? Well, you have no desire to taste the airlock. I most certainly do. How about the lockers? Jelly. Someone must have been stuffing a gel puff into their locker while it was leaking. Leaking? You'll need X-ray vision to see inside the lockers since they are closed. Well, we can certainly work with that. No, because you can't access anyone else's locker, only yours, which I happen to know is this one. Dang, they changed it around. Is it this one? Is it this one? It was the middle one.
Yes, it was the middle one.
You open the only locker for which you have a combination. Ugh! Putrid waves of stench waft forth. You can't recall the last cleaning it received. You bravely peer into the locker to find a Cubik's Rube puzzle and your athletic supporter, which you take. And I know what you all want me to do, but sadly you can't lick inventory items. So I'm sorry, that's just gonna have to do some other time. But hey, look at that. This is an order form you removed from a magazine for a free Labion Therapy's mating whistle. It is ready to be mailed, and mail it we indeed shall. Later. Oh wait, you guys want me to look at the jockstrap, right? Yeah. This is your athletic supporter. Without close inspection, you notice it to be well used. For what? Do people just like to run around and kick him in the groin? Well, let's just have a quick look around. Let's see. On the ceiling is mounted the decontamination mechanism. It cleans any unwanted matter from crew persons entering the ship through the airlock. Apparently didn't, because I'm still here. I happen to know that there's a very funny message if you lick the door. Don't stick your tongue in there, it might get cut off by the door. I was mistaken. Alright, let's get on with the game. Just walk on through the door. Alright. Mr. Cranky Narrator, whoever you are, I'm gonna turn the speed up just a little bit because I don't know who put it all the way down there. That is just freaky. That was a little freaky as well. Probably should have turned it down a gnat's wing. Why, hello. I have arrived.
It's about time you got in here, Wilco.
Definitely,
The
James.
shuttle bay on the double. I'm warning you, you're on your last leg around here, bud. One more screw up, and you're history. Bob, send Roger here directly to the shuttle bay and nowhere else until the job is completed. Do you hear that, Wilco? No napping in the closet.
No, but I'm gonna scratch my ass at you. Jesus, Roger. Oh, and off he fucks. Hey, it's Drool from Space Quest 5. How you doing, buddy? Probably not the Drool, obviously. Crew people are working hard, so none of these can be looked at. How about this guy? This guy's name is Bob. You owe Bob money. Maybe he'd like a smooch. Not here. People are around. Well, let's just talk to Bob.
Chief's not happy with you, Roger. You better get over to the shuttle bay soon. By the way, you still owe me 20 buckethoids. You'd best cough it up soon.
It would appear that Bob has a slight problem with his vocal cords. Apparently, he's talking through one of those, old smokers things. Yeah. Also, this is a fantastic piece of decoration. It's the station's etheric beam locator. You have no idea what it's used for, but it sure does look fun. Can we mess with it?
So few people can drive stick these days.
Did he just wink at me? Oh, you did not. Hey, let's annoy the boss some more. Nope, he's not available for that. Besides, if he sees you, you're dead meat. Get to the shuttle bay. Oh, but what does he smell of authority? Smelling your boss could get you fired. Yes, but how about licking your boss would get you fired? Even if it got you promoted, you would likely end up wishing for the rest of your after-hours life on Xenon 4 that you got fired. Okay. No one else want a big old... Want to lick that? It's disgusting. Okay. Now, the tube is made of plastic with a suction transportation device inside it. The physical principles involved are not unlike those which transport a spit wad through a straw. I was trying to use it, but okay, I guess I'll just walk into it. Yeah, there we go. Good, Roger. Whee! Unnecessary cutscene is unnecessary. Ow. Jesus. Apparently Roger's got the bones of a 3-week-year-old kitten. Good morning. Kipazoid novelties, fun for all ages. Soylent Green, the people you trust. Starcon wants you to join now. Oh, no, I don't think so. Lost pet acid creature, answers to Spot. Hey, what's that? The illustrations have captions underneath them. I'll have a look. Now, flipping off the sign won't help you. Good idea, though. But I want to read. The top picture appears to depict laser beams, captured with, in the case of terrible enemy laser blasts. The middle picture is a house, captured with, you should have stayed at home and away from space. The bottom, no symbol, has a person laying down inside it. It is captioned, no retirement benefits for you. Well, can I talk to it? Does a sign speak in sign language? Probably not. Best keep your nose out of this one, and you smudge up the top of the sign so that it reads, it as te enema ass. And if we look at it again, the top picture appears to depict laser beams captioned with, it as te enema ass. And the rest are the same. Nice little... well, I thought it was nice. Pipes, computers, and various other machines run along the walls and ceiling in the shuttle bay. How delightful! This panel controls the door, the fuel pump, and the ship maintenance diagnostics, while the readout gives you feedback on what you're doing. What am I doing? I'm going to talk to it. Nah, it's the old-fashioned press the button, pull the lever type of control panel. It doesn't talk. Does it smell? It smells like burning circuitry. That can't be good. Well, we'll fix that. If something fixes burnt circuits, it's a good old tongue bath. They're not candy buttons, they're the real kind. Fine, I will use it as a normal person. You press the big button marked shuttle bay door. It feels hot, and the screen is turning green from the heat. This thing has seen better days. The mechanism controlling the door is overheating. That's literally got to be the only thing it does, right? Well, you press the big button marked shuttle bay door again. And this can go on all day. It doesn't actually break. I'm not trying for an Easter egg here, I'm just having fun. What the hell is this thing? This panel controls the door. It's the same fucking thing. Well, never mind. The rocket nozzles on the back of the shuttle clearly show the wear of many flights. Ah, I'm gonna pick my ass some more, apparently. Nothing special about the hose, it merely provides a means of routing fuel from the refueler to the vessel. Can I mess with that? That is not a good idea. Being as unskilled as you are, you would probably cause some sort of fiery catastrophe. Leave it alone, it's automatic anyway. Besides, if you can't be trusted with a broom, highly volatile liquids are definitely out of the question. Ah yes, but what happens if you guessed it! They used to put something in the dangerous fuel to make it smell and taste awful, so that employees would be wary of it. They used to, you say? Well, let's nod and say we did. Better yet, let's nod and proudly proclaim that we didn't. These days they make it taste and smell just like the richest caramel. They call it Darwinist employee downsizing. Jesus. Can I keep licking it? Nah, it just loops. Well, all that aside, let's head on into the shuttle and see what we can see. You enter the shuttle and start sniffing around for the mess you must clean. You are surprised to find that the shuttle is not empty. There are two extremely ugly suckers walking towards you.
Hey, what the... Your favorite expletive here.
He actually said your favorite expletive. Jesus, lay off the poor fucker. Well, your protest is cut short as two interstellar ruffians proceed to thump you unconscious. Everything fades. Time passes. More time passes. A strange dream turns into the realization that you are being shaken and talked to by a voice unfamiliar to you. A dull ache triggers a distant memory of a scuffle in which you were the focal point. Upon awakening from your forced rest, it becomes quite apparent that you aren't in Sinon anymore. You find that you are being held upright and under physical restraint from both sides by, you guess, the galactic goons you met on the shuttle. As you try to struggle free, you notice that your hands are tied behind your back. As your eyes dial into focus, you make out an oddly disfigured being seated before you. There. He actually looks kind of cuddly, doesn't he? Nice tits. He is a sagging mass of flesh that appears to have been human at one time. Tubes and wires extend from his body, leading to machines which keep him alive. All of this is copy-pasted from the original game, which is...
Well, did we have a nice nap? I thought we would have to resort to drastic measures to wake you. Oh well.
Nice to meet you, Steve.
Welcome to my humble fortress, Roger Wilco. The name's Vohall. Sludge Vohall. I was the genius behind the star generator when it was in its concept stages.
And then someone stole it from you.
The ultimate war.
Yeah, weakling.
Some sissy-man scientist decided it would be better used saving lives rather than destroying them. What a waste of technology. Excuse me if I sound bitter.
You do.
Anyway, you ruined my Sarian operation. I was going to use the star generator to make Xenon pay for what they did to me.
What exactly did they do? Well, they stole your invention.
Big way. You somehow managed to change all that.
Yes, through my innate cleverness.
I suppose I should have known better than to use those mental midget Sarians. That's not the point, however. You're responsible, and you shall pay. Besides, I have another plan, and you'll not be around to foil it. I have devised
the screen just said evil.
So horrible, so frightening, so diabolical that no one will be able to stop me. Observe my latest creation. I intend to infest your planet with thousands of these genetically engineered door-to-door life insurance salesmen.
Cheers to that. That's the best plan I've ever heard.
Revenge from a scientific community that mocked me. My plan was to kill you, but I've had a change of heart.
Funny.
Get it?
He peers down at the hoses protruding from his chest, which are connected to a life support system.
Forgive me. I'm a kidder.
Yeah, great sense of humor, dude.
I decided I would get much more enjoyment watching you suffer.
Ooh, suffer. Nice.
Scourges the wonderful
Kind of an expert on that one.
Labia, where you will perform many painful hours of manual labor in my mines. Be seeing you.
When you're dead. Is that Papa Smurf on the monitor? It was Papa Smurf. An injection renders you unconscious. Your drugged carcass is loaded onto a shuttle. Upon reviving, you look through the viewing port to see Volhal's massive asteroid fortress getting smaller. Why did they drug him? His hands are tied behind his back. Did they drug him just to put him on a shuttle just for the fuck of it? I think they did. Dum-de-dum. I completely forget that this is a fan effort, because look at the fucking amount of effort that went into this. Dum-de-dum. After touching down on a giant landing platform, you are ushered to a hovercraft waiting to transport you to the mining site. Utter despair sets in. It's a fucking good thing I can actually retake lines over and over again when I'm actually doing the voice pack, because... Live narration! Hey! Not good. Parallax scrolling. They even reused the same tree sprites from the original, except this, like in the background with the HDR and the giant pixels and the whoopsie-doo.
Uh-oh. Oh, great. Now I suppose we're out of fuel. Way to go, dwarf breath.
Don't blame me. It was your turn to fill up. You're always forgetting to do it. Wait till the master finds out. You're in big trouble.
Hey, don't talk to me that way, you slime bucket. I filled it last time, dipshit.
They have faded out him saying dipshit. Well, the argument between the two guards is cut short as gravity reasserts itself. Blood, gore. Good thing that guard broke your fall. He doesn't look too happy about it, though. Now, unfortunately, I don't think the, fuck dead body Easter egg is...
What's that?
What was what? Well, maybe we should do something about that beeping noise. The hovercraft has been reduced to a mound of twisted wreckage. Everything that was straight is bent. Everything that was bent is benter. There appears to be no salvageable parts. I know, back up a bit. What fuck dead body Easter egg? Trust me, go watch the Space Quest 2, the original Space Quest 2 playthrough that I did. I think it's in the first or second episode. You'll thank me later. You hear a high-pitched beeping sound coming from somewhere inside the wreckage. You didn't notice it during the flight. It must have come on as a result of the crash. Great cover there, eh? Well, let's go have a little look-see-daisy on the... Oh, yeah. Oh, we're gonna have to... oh, no. Wait, we don't... Oh, we don't quite have time for that. How long? We're gonna have to wait until next week to show you what this is for. It is... a small device resembling a battery rests in the ship's innards, but it certainly is not. You carefully remove the piece of unstable ordnance and pocket it. Doing so causes the high-pitched beeping to stop.
For some reason, I got this sense of doom right before taking that.
Some reason indeed. Also, since they are clearly no longer using whatever possessions they might have,
That looks painful.
I might as well rummage through their shit. Leave the guard alone, he's been through a lot. Well, how about my rescuer here? The guard appears to be less thick than you remember him. Many of his formerly contained bodily fluids seem to be at large. You search the grotesque body and find a small, thin magnetic card. It looks like a key card. You seem to recall seeing one somewhere in the past. Oh yeah, we've seen a lot of key cards. And just before we end the episode, you're one twisted mofo. The only other person I know who would try that is Mark Crow. So they sort of have the fuck dead body Easter egg in there. They just put it as the lick message instead. Well, to save my game here, because we are jungle spelunking, and next time we shall indeed find out what that unstable ordnance does. And trust me, it is by far my favorite part of the entire remake. And I love this remake to bits. I think it is so well done. So when it's my favorite bit, trust me, you're gonna want to check. I don't clickbait. I really mean this. You're gonna want to see this. Let's see if I can just kill Roger. Yep, there we go. Well, you fall to the bottom of a concealed pit. You might have survived the fall had you not come into contact with the several 30-centimeter long spikes planted vertically along the bottom of the pit. Like the little blood squirt that came out. Holy shit. Look before you leap. The last thing that goes through your mind, besides the spikes, is that maybe you should have surveyed the area first. And with that, I'm going to leave you for this week. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, do whatever you kids do, but do leave me a comment, because I love the comments. I know this is a bit of a slow playthrough, but Infamous Quests hit a lot of messages around this game, and a lot of really funny messages, especially with the smell and taste icons. You saw how it was in Space Quest 1 VGA. There were some areas of the game where they didn't even have messages for, and you know, a lot of stuff. Rushed project, but this certainly not. No. There are a ton of funny messages. So I know I'm taking it kind of slow, but you know, it's gonna be worth it. I think. I feel, at least. Hopefully you think so too. So anyway, I'll see you around the Chrono Stream.